Hello, welcome back to Mad Matters podcast. Name myself.
How's it going?
Going to have a full day of doing like MMA updates, Hall of Fame news, healthcare scare in the MMA community, future wrestling stars in the Final X this weekend that's taking place. So, but first we can start with UFC 316 last weekend. What do you think about some of the rising stars and some of the fallouts?
A very exciting card, no doubt. To be honest, I feel like it was a predictable card. I feel like I expected the people to win that did, which is rare for me. Usually the people I'm cheering for did not win.
The kiss of death. No, I was surprised with the fight that went in the earlier, was it early prelims? Yoho was saying that he got a KO in 28 seconds.
Didn't see that one actually.
I mean, like he's like, because he's known, he has like a stance like a taekwondo, so he keeps his hands low, and the guy just started throwing. He was stepping, and the guy was stepping back, just throwing. He went through a straight,
Oh,
hit him with a left hook, wasn't
that the fight they said he Conor McGregor, that guy?
Yeah,
It's
I just
like,
the same way.
Jose Aldo versus, yeah.
He's the same way.
I did see that clip then.
Not even 5 minutes later, somebody posted a meme of that guy that got knocked out on the ground. He's like, "Sir, you can park there. Sir, you can park there."
Dude, they're so fast with it. It's crazy how fast they are with it.
They usually put Joe Rogan doing the interview. The guy knocked out right next to laying down, asking a question. But yeah, that was a good one because I think he got one of the bonus of the night, performance of the night because of the knockout.
Yeah.
The Mario match, versus Patchy Mix. Mario Batista, he showed like he belongs in the UFC because Patchy Mix was coming to the UFC and he looked like he was struggling. He was heavy footed. He's the one that came from Bellator. He was a champion there.
Yeah.
And he just got outclassed the whole match.
Mario Batista?
Yeah, Mario Batista beat Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix was the one from Bellator. He's the one that's like, he had like 16 out of 20 matches finishes.
Yeah.
It's a different level.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the organization. Go back to the small fish tank. There's a big dogs here.
Yeah.
I was surprised with Kevin Holland submission. He's known to be like being taken down. He getting ragdoll,
Right.
other like middleweights, but he's a black belt on the Travis Lutter. Yeah, he's a black belt. And Travis Lutter, he's a good jiu-jitsu. He was the one that caught Anderson Silva in the triangle back in the day. He caught now Kevin Holland caught Vicente Luque in a dart choke in the match, and he was able to submit it.
He's got the arms for it.
Oh yeah,
that would be a brutal dart.
Yeah, I think he got a, what is it called? Well, it's kind of like a Japanese necktie. That's what he got because he got the leg.
Peruvian necktie?
No, Japanese necktie. Japanese is usually like an anaconda, but you hook the leg like you are like half guard. You hook the leg and you have anaconda choke. That's like Japanese necktie. But he did it at Dars the other way and caught the leg, so he wasn't able to like escape much out of it. But I saw like in the decision, so they call it a Bravo choke, but that's usually a gi choke.
Familiar with that one.
Seen it in a in the gi. That's what they usually do it. Because you usually use the lapel for the choke, but they call this in like in the no gi they call it like no gi. Usually a dars. That's what it is. But I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't do much of that. But yes, he's one of those guys that he likes to go in his shield. So, like Steven Thompson, he's like, let's go strike. Even though he can use the grappling to be Steven Thompson, he did a gentleman's agreement, just go and strike the whole match. Who was somebody called? Oh, Bilal Muhammad was talking shit about Kelly Holland. He called him the most active loser in the UFC.
Oh my God.
That's rude. Talking trash is over the most active loser in the roster of the UFC.
Hey, yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, congratulations. But he go against tough guys too, though. But he goes against tough guys. I mean, he went against Hamza Chimaev. He beat Jacare. I mean, who else is he? Has he going against? He goes against tough guys. Gunnar Nelson earlier this year and Renier Derriere. We should just beat Bo Nickel. It's like they don't know like small like the like guys that we don't know. Michael Bennett Page, MVP. That he does. It's a lot of people that he goes against. They're like tough. Jack de la Madalena, the champion right now, went against him back in 2023.
Even if he is the most active loser, people at least know who he is.
Yeah, no, he was the champion. Nobody knew who he was. He was undefeated. Like who?
That's crazy. That still blows my mind. I don't know how that's possible, but
Yeah, how you a champion in the worst PR?
yeah, truly. I don't know.
I remember that Joe Pyfer match versus Kevin Gastelum.
Do I remember it?
Yeah, because I remember like in the first round he got dropped by Pyfer. And he was able to catch him, but then Pyfer just went in cruise control mode.
Oh, okay.
Decision. Now that's another guy that somebody in the crowd, a reporter, was talking shit about Pyfer. Like one of his biggest comeback is his hairline because he got a hair implant.
Did see that.
Like, what, sir? Watch it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like you're insulting me.
The dude. Do you know the dude sponsors for that?
What's that?
Like you go somewhere, like for example, you go to Turkey, they pay for it for you, so you can like sponsor the procedure.
Oh, really?
Because that's what they offered to Cowboy Cerrone when he got his hair transplant. He sponsored him.
I knew they did it over there, but I didn't realize they just offered it.
Yeah, so they start running joke. Like whenever they see a bunch of those guys that go and get hair transplant over there, they call it Turkish hairline. Because all of them you see that they coming out of the hair shape, and then they see the hair transplant.
That's funny.
But that's what they go for there. But back to 316, the women's championship, Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena.
Tail end round 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed that Juliana lasted that long, to be
Yeah.
completely honest.
Yeah, that Kimura. I mean, they do in judo. Do they do Kimuras? Arm locks? I know they have the arm bar.
Probably do. They probably do. They have the yeah, right. They have the armbar, so the Kimura's not that far off.
Mm-hmm. But she snapped the thing fast.
Yeah.
I mean, try to fight Kayla Harrison arms out of a
Yeah.
Kimura.
For real. For real. Yeah. No.
I seen a video with Yelena Pena did before this fight that she thought that she was strong enough to fight a man. It was like a line cook at a restaurant.
Saw that.
She got her ass beat.
Yeah. By a by a line cook. That surprised me actually. I was very surprised by that. I would not expect that result from a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Like I understand there's probably a massive size difference. She said he was like 6 foot something, but still.
Yeah, she'll be able to grab him or something.
Right.
I mean, they were if it's a line cook, they usually wear those chef jackets.
Yeah, the apron or whatever.
No, they wear those jacket because they wear the apron, but they had like a white like a shirt that had like the double like breasted. So it's kind of like a gi. You can still get a grip on them. Kind of like well, maybe she doesn't didn't practice back then as much.
That is true. That's true as well.
But and now you see Amanda Nunes stepping into the cage and I go against Kayla Harrison.
I don't know. I mean, I can see how she would think that's like a challenge, but I kind of hope not. Don't really like it when people come out of retirement like that.
Mm-hmm. Being comfortable,
Right.
especially somebody that has been in the same gym as her,
Yeah.
and she had the
Right.
same coaches.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, coming out and I feel like you got more to lose than you have to gain.
Yeah, I mean, she beat Ronda Rousey, beat Misha Tate. Did she beat Holly Holm and 145?
Did
She
she?
knocked her out.
Okay.
That's what and she got that 145. I think she defended 145 against Holly Holm, and she beat Chris Cyborg.
Yeah. See, that's a lineup.
And also she beat Chechenko twice.
Mm. Yeah. I just feel like she's got nothing to prove.
And she just wants to be
Huh.
somebody that was in the same gym as her. You could have knocked this fight a long time ago. Just fight in the ring in your
Right. Yeah.
favorite gym.
100%. Yeah. And that's that's the thing. Like if she's actually retired, she's not training as hard. So coming back, I feel like would be so difficult.
Yeah, and that's another
And
thing she said was, "I like this kind of matchups because it makes me feel scared, and this is when the lioness comes out." I mean, you've been like, you might be in training, but you have been like, the ring rust is a real thing.
oh yeah, yeah. I
And
mean that's just interesting. I get how that would be exciting for her. Like if she genuinely enjoys fighting, I could see how that would be exciting. But still, I don't know. I kind of hope not
If she
for her
enjoys,
sake.
she will stay active. That's the thing.
Hmm. Well, to a point though, because I mean, at a certain point, it's almost like she'd already beat everybody. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there was really nobody coming up that seemed that challenging. So maybe she just lost interest because there's just no challenges anymore.
Did she clear both divisions?
Right.
Kayla Harrison wasn't in the.
Exactly.
But she still had the third match. She could have with Juliana Pena because
You
remember
still have
Juliana
the what?
Pena beat her the one time. She could have still had that trilogy match against Pena
Yeah.
because remember Pena beat her in the first one. She beat Pena in the second one. That was a possibility of a matchup, but she retired. Maybe because of the kid, maybe. But she says now she feels more
Yeah.
comfortable because of the kids are bigger now. She'll be able to go back to training. It's normal.
Right. Oh, really?
But usually the odds are usually none. Doesn't favor the
Right.
retired fighter.
No.
The only one that I've seen that will actually favor was GSP, but GSP was mad and because of training.
Well, that's the thing is GSP is different from everybody else I have seen. Like that dude trains constantly still. You know, it's not
High
the same
level gyms.
training. Yeah. So like that's his life. That is his lifestyle. Yeah. He could probably take a fight at his weight class now and do okay. You know. So
Yeah. But that's the only one I've seen that was able to come out of retirement and do well. But hopefully we'll see how it goes. The former teammates. Let's go back now. Let's go to the main event. Merab Bilashvili versus Sean O'Malley.
yeah.
Was that a north side choke that he did, or was it like a ninja choke that he did on Sean O'Malley?
I thought people were saying it was more like a ninja, but
Because he was kind of in a north side position, but he was using his hand like a paper cutter to finish the choke
mm,
with the other
it's almost
hand.
like a north south Ezekiel then.
But he wasn't getting out of that thing.
No, no. Oh, you're not gonna tire him out, so to rule that one out.
Arms and legs are out of the equation because they're farther from the
Uh-huh.
head.
So, yeah, that's the beauty of that position for sure. Just takes out the most powerful half of their body,
hmm
unless they're incredibly flexible.
Yeah, but I mean, if they pin your chest, your back to the mat, there's no inversion.
Mhm.
Um, Marcelo did well versus Imanari. He's getting flat on the mat. There's no inversion. But he said that he was stronger. He felt stronger this time. Sean O'Malley.
Marab? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
He wasn't injured this time, correct?
no, he wasn't injured this time.
Yeah.
He just it's Marab being Marab. But do you
Mm.
see who's the number one contender is gonna be now? Balls will steal Cody Hagen. He's gonna be the number one contender versus Marab. No.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was the one that they were showing him after the match. That he was gonna be the next guy. Because I believe beat Peter John. He beat Umar Nurmagomedov. And he beat
All
Sean
right.
O'Malley.
Should be a fun matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I still feel like I know we talked about it last week, but I still feel like if Marab moved up, that'd be a fun fight.
Oh yeah. Aljamain Sterling is coming back down. He said he thought about it because one day he woke up, he was 165. He's like, I can make 135. The next day he got on there at 160. Like, nah, I better not. I better not. Aljamain Sterling was the champion there at 135, and he's Marab's teammate at 145 currently.
Okay. Yep.
So, boom, yeah, him versus Alexander Volkanovski, that'd be a good one. Because I want to see how Volkanovski is able to close the distance because Marab is hard to close distance on. Because he's either far away or he is on you, ranked on you. There's the two distance that he uses.
Yeah.
It's all in or all out.
He's good at moving too.
Yeah. Because Sean O'Malley is hard. Like when you get in his range, he's able to piss you up. But he was able to do that because he was able to catch him, and he doesn't stay in
Right.
the middle.
Yep. Yeah, that's a very fast moving target
Yeah,
that stays out of range until it's time.
yeah. You think you'll be able to catch him because he's like you have range distance, but still He stays out of reach distance for some reason. Hard to catch. Speaking of fallouts during the match, do you see that guy that fell off the rail as Marab was coming in?
No.
Somebody
What?
was leaning against the rail and they almost fell on Marab. And they he had to walk around them as he was walking out to the fight.
Dang.
According to Dana White, luckily nobody was hurt. I saw somebody that he was screaming because of his leg. I think somebody landed on his leg in the rail. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh god, this is the second time that happened. But this time it wasn't as high. Oh man, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, for real. What the heck? I guess people are just like pushing in really
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah, and you know they're reaching over. You know they're trying to like reach and touch, like or trying
Yeah.
to handshake. They're probably doing that shit, and just the rail just those rail just give out. Just have it on there, just stuck on there. They're not really like welded or anything.
Right. Yeah.
People just lean against it, and and those rails are not that thick. That's like the metal itself.
Mm, right.
Yeah, after you've been leaning like that for what 8 hours there, things gonna give up.
Yeah. That rail was tired.
Yeah, instead of him going to the fence came down to him this time.
Yeah.
But that was like wow. The they were, somebody was getting. I thought that for sure. I thought that guy broke his leg. The way he was screaming. Apparently, no. He was just he's hurt. Like somebody landed on him. Something because they know what say he wasn't hurt. No, there was a controversial decision. That Dominican guy that was going against the other guy. Let me see which match it was. He was in the prelims. Costa versus Sergey Spivak. I thought Spivak was winning that match, but they give the decision to Waldo Cortez Acosta because he was landing more
Interesting. I wonder.
because Spivak had 2 takedowns out of 6. It was a significant strike. Give it to Waldo, 46-40. In the total strikes, 47-2. Only that counts leg kicks. So actually like a significant strike.
Was Sergey leg kicking a lot?
No, Costa. I don't know
Okay.
Cortez. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they count as well strikes. I was surprised that they gave the decision to him. I thought Spivak was winning.
Was that? Yeah. Not unanimous decision.
I can't remember what it was. You see, it was the decision. Also, that night they announced Marker, the Smashing Machine, inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame just in time before his movie.
Wait, he's in a movie?
Kim Marker, remember the movie The Rock is playing him.
Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, he's inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame
I
because he
wonder
was
if
in
that was
UFC.
planned.
What?
I wonder if that was planned. Like.
Probably because
Yeah.
that match. I mean, the movie, my bad, doesn't come into October, and usually the Hall of Fame event takes place in July or like
Mm,
rather for July 4th. International Fight Week. I can't remember. I think it was Eddie Bravo was talking about. He got a nickname as Smashing Machine was in Brazil because in order for him to come to UFC, he had to go through Brazil. He had to compete over there in the tournament. He in the finals, like went against this Brazilian that he just busted all his teeth out. The guy's teeth out in the match.
dang.
It's like crazy. He won the. I think it was a headbutt or something like that. And then another, and I think Joe Rogan talk about another submission that he got. He took his shin in a guy's eye socket and submit him that way.
God.
Brutal it was back then.
Gosh, yeah, it's a different game. Gosh.
Man, that pain.
I can't. I can't imagine.
You feel like your
Yeah,
eyes
because
floating.
yeah, for real. Yeah, he pretty determined to win that fight. So I can only imagine the pain you'd have to be going through. You got to be thinking like, I'm going blind in this eye. I got to tap. I'm going blind. You
Yeah.
know?
And you get up and you see nothing, just white. The pressure. He's multiple time NCAA champion for Syracuse, ADCC gold medalist. He had a documentary on HBO, The Smashing Machine, which about you talk about his addiction back then. He was
Mhm.
teammate with Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman back then. Also, he was trying to be. Funny thing was the reason he started wrestling was because he's a pro wrestling fan.
Really?
Yeah, he was started. But he competed. That's why he was wearing a Zungao. See, when he was competing.
Well, I guess that was a good decision.
Yeah,
Huh? I'm actually kind of good at this.
yeah, because he was like a wrestler. But also, they were known back then too. The Speedos,
There what?
Speedos they used to wear for competing.
Yeah.
But now Dana White made him illegal because of Dennis Hallman. Remember that match? I think it was 2011. This guy, his name is Dennis Hallman. He's like back then they used to have sponsors. Like Condom Depot was one of his sponsor. He lost a bet, and because he lost the bet, he had to go in there and fight in a speedo. I can't remember who he went. I want to say he went against who's the guy that has Johnny Cash tattoo? Alan Belcher. I think it was Alan Belcher went against him,
Okay.
and he put him out fast. And Dana White gave him a bonus for putting him out fast because it was embarrassing. Like it was like he was afraid because he thought one of his nuts was gonna pop out of his cup.
Oh my
The
gosh.
cup was bigger than his freaking speedo. What is this guy doing, man? But yeah, I can't remember who he went against in that match. But yeah, that's what he's known for. Hold on, let me this him. Dude, come on, man. Didn't know why I was sweating and God, please get this guy out of there.
Don't let this guy win.
I don't know if he got kicked out of that of the UFC.
Yeah. Too much of an embarrassment. Leave.
Yeah. But man,
Was that normal? Was that like the first guy to fight in the Speedo?
no, because back in the day they used to wear him all the time, remember?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But then that White was a big fan of it. He didn't like it. That's the thing. He's like, nah, man, not to do that.
Ruined it for everybody, I tell you.
Yeah, I think that's what I think they're illegal now. You can ask for
Yeah.
anything else, but don't ask for Speedo to compete. Yeah, that's what they used to wear back then. Well, in Brazil, they used to wear them for like in the beach. A lot of like
Yeah.
the challenges. You see those like tapes that they used to like go against each other in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's what they were wearing. That's probably what they were wearing because in the beach in Brazil they wear that. If you wear shorts, they consider you're gay. Like, what? You're gay or something? Wear a Speedo like a man. They call it zoomed out. That's what Joko talks about. Dean Lister. Dean Lister had a face of when the zoomed out. He was like really uncomfortable because he was trying to like acclimate to the Brazilians.
Mhm.
He hated going against Dean Lister wearing the zoomed out. Big ass head in the speedo, a small speedo.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that I can only imagine. Oh my gosh. That's no-gi for you.
Oh yeah,
Woo.
all nogi in baby oil. Well, speaking of, so his marker, his teammate, and well, he was teammate with Mark Coleman. He's also in. He was given a Courage Award by the USA Wrestling for saving his parents out of the fire last year. He was sleeping. He said that alarm was going off, and he was able like to get his parents out of the the house. But he still lost his dog. His name was the Hammer of the dog. But he was in the hospital for a while because of he passed out afterwards because so much
Smoky
smoke.
inhalation.
Yeah,
Mm.
his daughter Tim posted a video about when they went to see him in the hospital. He was still crying about his dog, but he was able to save his parents out of there. It's rough, but his
That
parents
is.
were didn't get hurt.
Yeah. That's, that is good. They carry them both out.
Yeah, both of them at night. And you know, it's
Wow.
hard to see in the smoke. Imagine smoke at night.
Right? Yeah.
But he was giving a commercial word because of it. He brought
Have
his
they
other.
done that before?
What's that?
Have they done that before for the UFC?
No, no, the UFC, USA Wrestling.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but he's a UFC Hall of Famer already.
Yeah.
This is an old OG. I think he's in the Pioneer Hall because they had different halls, but he's in the one of the pioneers of the sport. Mark the Hammer Coleman, Ohio State alumni. Also, stay on band news. Ben Askren was hospitalized. Like he's not responsive because he got they call staphylococcal nicotrizing pneumonia, which is
Is that like staph infection in the lungs?
that's what it sounds like. Because he has staph, but said that he got pneumonia afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you know, staph usually you carry like in your skin.
Mm.
When if you get into your bloodstream, it can spread. That's the scary part because it attack your kidneys. I'm not a doctor, but that's what I've heard. Like that's the scary when you go septic. But if you go
Heard that.
like something like that, like he's non-responsive as of Saturday. I heard that he was like in the ECMO machine
Mm.
ventilator, and they were probably the last thing I heard was they're looking at lung transplant, and it's hard to get a lung transplant because how do you keep it like that? It's a If it's an infection of staph, how do you keep it in the lung without going to the bloodstream that fast? Because the mortality, the when I look it up, was the mortality rate like 50 for this kind of
Wow.
infection.
Did they know he had staph before? Like he'd been fighting it already?
He had
Or was
staph,
it
and then
like,
he developed the pneumonia afterwards.
that is,
Scary. Because somebody is well known. He has been. He's not like a new into the sport.
right.
He's just little. He was in wrestling, his jiu-jitsu, and all that stuff. He was in MMA, champion in Bellator, won championship. He has this academy, the Askren Wrestling Academy in Wisconsin. He has a lot of good people coming out of there. And still was able to like to get that. This is considered kind of like the off season for college and high school wrestling. It's scary.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, right after, yeah. That's some serious stuff that gets bad really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Especially
can
like
anyway.
those scary and like because anybody can get that the staff.
Right. Yeah, I feel like if you're in jiu-jitsu long enough, it's very likely you'll get it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
But getting to the lungs is its main organ.
right, yeah, no, I mean, it can spread quickly. I know that. I've seen it go like it goes pretty deep. I've seen some pretty nasty pictures of people who get it, but
The thing
getting to
there's
the
like a
lungs is
spider bite and then got to find out it's just
yeah,
staff.
yeah,
Yeah, guys, stay clean.
yeah. Wash. You see a spot, get it checked out.
Another thing that I've seen recently was Francis Ngannou going back to the UFC because I think John Jones was talking about going against Ngannou
Mhm.
and making that matchup. I remember I've seen something about Ngannou replying saying that, "What do you worry about the guy that's your division right now in your organization, Tom Aspinall?"
Yeah, yeah.
But Francis Ngannou is kind of entertaining the idea of coming back to UFC because how many competition does he have in the PFL?
Yeah, I mean, it would be exciting to see him back, but I feel like he kind of burned the bridge when he left UFC. Because
Do you know why he did that?
no,
It was the money thing. He also wanted to do the crossover for boxing
hmm
because that's why before he started doing MMA, he started doing boxing. But in order to be you, in order for you to start getting paid well in boxing, you have to have a lot of matches. He wished
okay,
he wasn't gonna be able to get that many matches because he was older when he started. So MMA was a faster route. He coming out
hmm,
of France. Um, so that's what. But he wanted to do boxing the crossover to go against like, for example, the match that he had against Tyson Fury, the match he got against Anthony Joshua. That wouldn't have taken place using the UFC. The only crossover that Dana White did was with Conor McGregor
hmm,
against Mayweather, but he wasn't willing to do that with Ngannou.
hmm,
And that's what he left to the PFL because PFL he had the flexibility to compete in boxing. He still have like part ownership of the PFL. He has some sort of role with the PFL that he was like the liaison or like a scout out of Africa for PFL.
hmm.
This was part of the deal that he got when he went there, and also being in the roster for the champions heavyweight.
That's interesting. I saw a clip. I saw a clip very recently where a reporter asked Dana, "What do you think of Francis Ngannou maybe coming back to the UFC?" And he just kind of laughed. He's like, I can't remember what he said, but I feel like it was along the lines of that's not happening.
Yeah, he probably pissed because he left as a champion too. Remember?
Right. Yeah. I feel like Dana was not happy with that whole situation. So I don't think he'll be allowed to come back.
Yeah. No, as long as Dana White is there because he just stiff him out.
Right. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I feel like you get on Dana's bad side and you're not getting anywhere in the
Mm-hmm.
UFC anymore.
Very seldom you see that him turn like change his mind.
Right.
But when he says man said certain guys, dude, you're done.
Hmm.
Because he had the Test of Fury, he lost that one. He's 0-2 in boxing. And he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua in boxing. And he had the one match in PFL that I can remember. But other than that, he was a pool competition. He doesn't have much leverage as far as his stock right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But will he be able to now if John Jones asked Dana White to bring him, do you think he's gonna bring him?
No, I don't. I think that's even too far for Dana.
Please, Uncle Dana, bring him over.
Jones can ask for a lot and Dana will give it, but that probably is too much.
Yeah. How do you think Ngannou will do against Aspinall?
It's hard to say. I don't remember seeing Aspinall get hit much. He's pretty good at closing distance. I don't know if Ngannou could take that. That's really hard to say. I don't. What did you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, I don't know how Ngannou is going backwards for
Right.
striking.
Yeah. That because I feel like that's exactly what happens. I feel like Aspinall would, move forward, try to close that distance, and I don't think that would be a good matchup for Ngannou.
Yeah, Aspinall is a good grappler too. Remember,
Right.
he's been grappling since he was a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, I don't see that going well. I would have liked to see him against John Jones. I mean, I think that would be a cool matchup, but just because I think Jones would stand with him, and Jones might have more skill, but I don't know if a straight punch caught him. You know what I mean? It's
Well, you
over.
saw when Stephen was putting him in the back foot, John Jones was running
Hmm.
away
Right, that's true as well. I had forgot about that.
because he was hitting him. He just running. He literally turned
Hmm.
his back and ran away from Stipe.
Yeah,
Was he be able to do that with Ngannou?
that's a hard hit. I don't know. I don't know if there's much recovering from getting hit by that
Yeah,
a few
getting
times. You know what I mean?
getting bomb
Those
rushed.
fists are
The only thing he has is that oblique kick to keep Ngannou at bay. Also, Ngannou's legs are thicker than John Jones.
hmm hmm
See how big meat is really skinny legs.
hmm
Another thing I saw this weekend was Diego Lopez was asking Jay Rodriguez through Sean Shelby, the matchmaker, to get a match with Jay Rodriguez for the number 1 contender.
What do you think of that? Do you think it's gonna happen?
Well, they had I don't know if you remember the beef that they had in the press conference where they were arguing with each other, and like some of the Volkanovski just like looking around, like he's just laughing. Jay Rodriguez explained that during the post fight conference, he said that incident happened in which one of his teammates, Jerry Rodriguez, was at a place like an event, some sort of like a local MMA promotion, and one of his teammates got into a feud with Antigo Lopez guy, and they jump him, they fought him. That's why Jerry Rodriguez mad at Diego Lopez.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he started like cursing out Diego Lopez and stuff like that during the press conference in Spanish.
Yeah.
Also, Jerry Rodriguez doesn't like barking down. At the time, Diego Lopez was the number 1 contender. He was fighting for the title against Alexander Volkanovski. That was setting up a match. If Diego Lopez, but Diego Lopez coming off a loss,
Yeah.
and Jerry Rodriguez left Diego Lopez on red. He's like, nah. He like, why would I want to get a match with Diego Lopez? Even though, because remember, Jerry Rodriguez was the interim title before.
Mhm.
He hasn't been like a unified, like a undisputed champion. That's what he wants.
Okay.
He want to give up a match against Volkanovski and fought the loser of the last championship.
So, yeah.
He's been in the organization, I think, what, almost 10 years or something like that. Dave Rodriguez to get to this
Mhm.
position, to fight against Diego Lopez and lose the chance for the title.
Hmm. Wow. I mean, yeah, that is quite a division. It's got a lot of solid
Yeah,
competition there.
because Gene Silva's in there too.
Mhm.
He's not high in the ranking, but he's also like a tough guy too.
Right.
Bryce Mitchell is in there too.
True. Somewhere.
Yeah, Bryce Mitchell's in there. The top 2 dogs left. Holloway left to Poirier. They're not there
Mhm.
anymore. But we still have other guys in there too. Who else is in the division?
Got Aljamain Sterling.
Yes. Former champion 135.
See Dan Eek.
He's fighting Patricio Pitbull.
Really, all the names are pretty well known as Emmett.
Mm-hmm. He was one fight away from going for the title. Josh Emmett.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
He's the one that gave Bryce Mitchell a seizure after he knocked him out.
Okay. Yep. Calvin Guitar. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, it's just.
Yeah. He's a boxer too.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, the division makes it really interesting. Why
Yeah.
doesn't Diego Lopez fight any of those guys?
What was that?
Why doesn't Diego Lopez fight somebody like Josh Emmett? That would be a decent match.
Right.
Or Kevin Cater. That's another one too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a lot of matchups you could make in that division that would be good, fun fights.
Yeah. But he wants to just get back up immediately. I mean, he has been in the organization for that long. Diego Lopez.
Know how long? Do you know?
I think less than 2 years. He has been in the UFC. His first match was May 2023. He lost against Mobstar Efloev. That's his first fight in the UFC. I mean, you have a lot ahead.
Yeah, true. 2 years is really not long at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta dream, believe, and make it happen.
Yeah, no regrets. Every time you see that guy, that he has the same tattoo place with.
Man,
He's 30 years old,
hey, he's still got some time.
but he has plenty matchups for them, other than just going for Jerry Rodriguez for the beef.
I feel like you gotta let that build a little bit more. You know,
Just like
not
Khabib
enough people
and
know about
Connor.
it yet. Get somebody jumping out of the cage afterwards.
Yeah, make it into UFC Noche match
Yeah.
because we're in San Antonio now. Another thing we're gonna bring up, kind of like ties up because former wrestlers like in college, they're competing like for some Marker, Coleman, and other ones in the organization. And guy, I haven't bring this up. This guy AJ Ferrari, he was 2021 freshman national champion 197 for Oklahoma State University. His sophomore year, he got into a wreck and he was out for like part of the season. And actually, the rest of the season, and also he was kicked out of the school the following year. I think 23. He was kicked out of the school for some stuff that was so I think sexual assault, something like that. Sexual, and like he got kicked out of
Okay.
campus.
Yeah.
He tried to come back last year, I think 2023, 2024. He was trying to have like matches with the University of Iowa because his brother wrestled in Iowa. So
Mhm.
he had some fallout. The one of the guys that he wrestled in the finals for this tournament, which is like kind of like an honor for the troops and things like that. He started flipping out the crowd. He got like DQ for the match, and then that fell through. So he wasn't even competing in that school. Last year, he wrestled for Bakersfield at the University of California. Wrestled for them. He was able to go into the nationals undefeated. He wrestled. He made it all the way to the semis. Lost in the semis. Took third place in there. And then after he showed that he was like turned his life around. He's like a religious man now. After that, he went into the portal, which is like for transfer portal for going to another school. UNC, University of North Carolina, picked him up. He was going to come into the. They going to get him an NIL deal. This is going to be crazy. They have former coach. Used to Rob Cole used to coach Stanford back in California. Since Joseph, assistant coach in UNC, he used to coach assistant coach in Stanford. Then at UNC, right after the transfer portal closed, UNC did not accept him. The school didn't take him.
Really?
Yeah, so they kind of like got him under the because of some previous like things that happened before. So he wasn't accepted into school. So now he was for out in the market again, and Nebraska picked him up, which is like last year. Nebraska did pretty decent, even though it's a school that doesn't take much of an NIL deals and things like that for athletes. They took third place. It was a surprising third place in nationals.
I mean, this guy's got. I take it this guy's pretty renowned wrestler then.
And he's pretty
With
good.
all
Like he
this.
won his
Yeah.
freshman year. He won as a freshman. He won nationals as a 197. Then he was like last year when he competed for Bakersfield, which is considered a small school. He still was able to make it the third place in nationals. So he's a two-time All American already. Out of two times, first place and third place. He said he's gone to the tournament twice. So he's hard to take down. He's really flexible. He can do a split. He said he has some crazy. I can't remember how much he said he can deadlift. But he used to wrestling 197. But I think that this for this school he's going to be wrestling heavyweight. I think for some time he was trying to do MMA because he was hanging out with Masvidal.
Really?
Yeah, he was hanging out with Masvidal. Won his matches recently. I want to say it was a Colby Covington. I can remember when one of Masvidal last matches when he was in the UFC. He was hanging out with Masvidal. But it'll be interesting how he will do because now that he's in Nebraska wrestling, he's going to go against his former team, Oklahoma State.
That'll be interesting. I mean, it sounds like Nebraska's trying to move their way up.
Yeah,
Maybe being in the rankings giving them more hope, more initiative to, pull in some uh more skilled people.
Yeah, I think they have 4 guys in the finals last year. I can't
Wow.
remember. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 out of 10
Yeah, no,
world classes.
that's definitely.
So we'll see. But he is a what you call a character.
Yeah. Well, I was looking through some of the images on Google, and there's an image of him doing a split celebration dance. It looks like a full on split, not like the this one, but like the sideways.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I'm sure that flexibility is useful.
Well, yeah. Especially somebody trying to take you down, you can do it because you can reach the other leg to take him down. You just like
Yep.
you can your hip low to the ground. How do you
Good
take somebody
luck.
down with the hip
Yeah.
that low to the ground? And he's like fast too. And I mean, doing a split somebody at 197 pounds.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It says he's 6 foot, 197.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big dude to be doing that.
But we'll see how he does in Nebraska. I mean, he probably
Hmm.
won't get another national championship there. He's able to do a Bakersfield. He has the right coaches, the right teammates in that program.
Yeah, that should be really good for him.
He hopefully turns his life around. He learned a lesson
Hopefully.
from the UNC getting kicked out of there. How did he get kicked out of school before UNC school starts?
They saw you coming a mile away.
Yeah. But hopefully he's able to life around, get it together. Another event that's going on this weekend is the Final X for the USA World Team. See the lineup. There's a couple matches that are gonna be interesting. They released the order. So Mitchell Messenbreg is going against David Carr. That's the first one. They have going against each other before. David Carr, I think he won the US Open. I can't remember which one he won. US Nationals. He may. But Mitchell Messenbreg, the only loss that he had in college, he is 2 seasons. He's 2-time finalist, and the only match he lost was against David Carr in the finals. Not this year, 2025, but 2024. Also, Messenbreg is also Ben Askren wrestler when he was in high school. So he wrestling for Penn State now, but he only thinks about wrestling all the time. One of
Mm.
those guys. He wants to take for everybody that he gets in front of him, which is fun to see somebody like that. Yeah, Levi Haynes versus Evan Wick. Levi Haynes, another Penn State guy. He was a champion last year, not this year. I think he was 174. Which is interesting because he went from 157 to 174. He jumped 2 weight classes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, which now is 79 kilos. I think it's like 174 in for the World Team Trials. Then you have Wyatt versus Hilger, 125. Barr versus Trent Hiley out of NC State. Barr, he's out of Penn State. They have Silmer versus our boy, Kyle Snyder. Captain America. You go, you see how he's going to do. I'm surprised that he can get his credential taken away because Downey guy, he is taken away.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Snyder has more gold medals than Pat Downey. I think that's my guess. The USA is more interested in bringing the best guy to the world team.
Yeah.
But keep a short leash on that guy whenever he's international. Please don't make us look bad. We lose Canada there. Joy McKenna versus Real Woods. 65 kilos. PJ Duke, this guy, he's a newcomer. He like beat like good like world team members to make the final X versus Yanni Diakomihalis. He's a 4-time national champion at Cornell. Which is gonna be if not PJ Duke knocks out Yanni in this final X, he's going to be crazy. He has to like to be after this. Boom. I want to see how he does. No. And also I forgot to tell you, this is 2 out of 3 for final X. So
Okay.
just because you win the first match doesn't mean that you get guaranteed spot. You do get to wrestle again against each other. And
Is
if the
this
other
in the finals?
yeah, the final X, yeah. Let's say call it final X. So you got have to win 2 out of 3. So you win one match and then you go a second match. If you win both matches, you make the world team. Now, if the other guy wins, they go for a third match.
Mm,
Same night.
wow.
They're still trying to figure out who's the best guy. Nobody's getting lucky in this.
Right. Yeah. That has a lot to it.
Hmm. You have at least 2 matches.
That's cool too. That yeah, you're not getting eliminated immediately either.
Hmm.
Or do you?
No, you don't get because you only go against one
Right.
guy the whole
Right.
night.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, and then you have Luke Lillardall out of Penn State versus Spencer Lee. That's a guy he won nationals with no knees.
Okay.
He
Does
was
he have knees this
125
year?
pounds.
Does he have knees this year?
Yeah, he has his knees, which is weird because when he used to wrestle Iowa, he wore those bulky knee pads, knee braces, because his knees were so shot. But international, you're not allowed to wear those knee braces.
Wow.
Yeah. But also, he said that he doesn't get as injured now because in college wrestling, you compete a lot more often than you do international because international, you can just pick your matches.
Yeah. Yeah. His knees are just too beat up
Yeah.
from so much use. Yeah. I mean,
You also cutting weight. How much running do you have to do
mhm.
to cut weight? But you have to do, make weight that many times when you're international. And then for the finals, it's going to be Sahih Valencia versus Calde, which they went against each other earlier in the year, the US Open. And Sahih beat him. But now Dake is going against him because Sahih looks bigger. So Sahih won that one in the, I think it was the US Open. And Calde won US Nationals. So that's because he signed up for it. Calde. So that's able to make it to Final X. Because he was able to make it to US Open, he went the other way around. They're still gonna face each other in Final X. Just ragdolling everybody. Calde. He's the one that he's picked people up. They call it Dake bombs. But dude, he got headbutt by somebody in the in that match. Calde, that dude, he got a broken orbital bone. Like that thing was like a goose egg, and he was black.
Mm,
Like, he was bleeding
mm.
out of there. But he was to finish the tournament, still won it. After that, this is the matches. Another thing was me, Elore. She's not gonna be competing in Final X this weekend. The she pulled out this. I think it was yesterday. She pulled out of the tournament. I mean, she won cadet, won juniors, won worlds, won Olympics last year in Paris. She wants to take everything, but she says she's anemic. She has trouble practicing, energy level, gets dizzy real easy. That usually doesn't go well when you're cutting weight either.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So she said she's going to sit out and I mean, whatever she had to do, get infusion, get better. I can't remember if, well, I know for the UFC was that way. USADA before water. I don't know if the IVs are illegal because they said they EMS EPO agents. That's what they made illegal. I mean, if she had to get IV for anemia, get blood infusion or iron infusion, I can understand why she wants to choose to sit out this time. Never mind, because this is World UWW. This is Worlds. It's not Olympic event, so it might be different. Who's their governing body for drug testing? But that means she pulled out of out of the match for Final X. The girl that was going against her, the only thing she had to do just make weight, and she's in the world team for this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, that's all she has to do. How crazy is that?
Yeah. How crazy it would be if she missed weight.
Oh yeah, let's start the process all over again because I mean they have enough time because Worlds is in September.
Mm.
Get
Yeah,
somebody
yeah. You
else.
could get.
Some of the girls that competed for getting to Final X, they can bring alternates
Yeah. Yeah.
because this is alternates. I don't. A few of those matches I want to see is Carr versus Messenbrink, Sahib versus Dake. That's gonna be the main event.
Watch that one on.
Flow grappling. Flow grappling. It starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
It's the UFC on Saturday. 7. Okay.
But that's Buckley versus Usman. Kamaru Usman. Do you think that's gonna be the passing of the baton?
Do you think so?
Because Joaquin Buckley is coming up. He's been beating guys. He beat Culver Covington. He beat Wonderboy Thompson. Knocked him out. And he has Kamaru Usman, was a former champion. Was considered at one point one of the greatest champion at welterweight. I mean, he beat Massive Dom, beat his own teammate Gilbert Burns, beat Culver Covington twice. He was really active as well. He beat Tyron Woodley, and now he has like lost like last few matches. He lost against Hamza Shemaev when he went up to 185. He lost twice against Leon Edwards. He lost the last three. He has been out inactive for how long? Kamaru Usman. I think like last one was against Hamza Shemaev. like 2 years ago.
Do you see Usman retiring soon? He's got to.
Maybe, but I don't see him in a title contention though. That's the thing. I see Joaquin Buckley going up as far as like one of the contenders nowadays. Because he used to be 185, but now he's getting his more strict in now competing welterweight. And now he said that he didn't have gym like a camp when he started with the UFC. Now he does.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, he's on quite a losing streak. So I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know if I'd picture this being a passing of the baton, but we'll see. Yeah, I would say Buckley will probably take it.
No, yeah, and run with it because he's one, two, three, four, 6-5 winning streak right now. And let me see, and four of them have been TKO or KO.
Yeah, freight train coming through.
But yeah, so recently that was funny. I remember Joaquin Buckley. It was like Dana White was taking question. He was in the crowd. He was asking question about he wanted to be the headline. No, he wanted to be the main event for the Kansas car because he's from St. Louis, Missouri. And then I was like, okay, thank you for your question. He's left him hanging there on the mic. I can't remember which event that was. I think it was like the one of Alexander Pereira matches. Thank you for coming. He didn't even answer that question.
That's funny.
That's embarrassing. Your own boss left you hanging from everybody.
Also got Miranda Maverick.
Versus Rose Namayunas. Where's this card taking place?
That's a good question.
State Farm Arena. Where's State Farm Arena? Atlanta, Georgia. That's what's going to take place. Welcome to the South. I can remember last Atlanta card because remember the UFC used to be when they first started was Augusta, Georgia. Also one of the events used to be Alabama. You was also another place. They used to do a lot of the UFC events.
Bama did?
I can't remember where it was a UFC 12, a UFC 14, a UFC 17. They were in Birmingham, Alabama.
I really remember the last one that was in Georgia.
Just saying. Because remember back in the day, they used to have like Augusta, Georgia. Yeah. The UFC 13 was in Augusta, Georgia. Was the main event was Vito Buffalo versus Tank Abbott. Randy Couture versus Steven Graham. I don't know who that is. Kai Mezger versus Tito Ortiz. Winning that one. I think that's the final. Yeah, that's the final. Because that's what used to have event tournament.
That was a while ago.
Going back to the South in the summer too. Could pick a better place. I mean, for a better time this time of the year.
Nice and warm.
Yeah. And humid.
Humid, yeah. Like crazy.
That's one thing I didn't think when I went to New Orleans, it was gonna be like breathing water over there. Because when I went in July, oh man, it was terrible. According to here, it says Fight Night event in 2015. What's the last one?
Sorry, when?
Never mind. UFC 236 is 2019. Holloway versus Poirier. It's the last time. That was in April 2019. And oh, that's a banger. Kevin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya. Remember that one? They went 5 rounds. The middleweight.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to the 4th round. Asanya's like, I'm ready to die. He was saying, coming out of the corner, I'm ready to die. Yeah, that's the last time they had a Atlanta card. I mean, and now they're doing another Poirier versus Holloway.
Really?
Yeah, for Poirier, last card is fight is going to be against Max Holloway in New Orleans.
Okay. That should be a fun one.
Yeah, I can't remember who it would be badass if he walked out with somebody as his knockout song for the Dustin Poirier. Lil Wayne, I think. I know what's his name is going. This is going to be pump up for that for the match because he's from Louisiana as well.
What will be pump up?
No, DC will be pump up because
Well, yeah.
it's going to be
Yeah.
hometown. I think Poirier is from Lafayette. It's Lafayette, Louisiana. I can't remember DC is the same from the same town. Yeah, but from Lafayette, Louisiana. Same.
Okay.
Well, that's that one. That one's coming up too. But he'd be considered like a UFC 318 with July 19 card when they facing him. I mean, currently, Max Holloway is the BMF title holder. There's not that many known, but some of them are in that card. Amanda Rivas versus Tabitha Ricci. Carlos Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. I mean, this is 4 years retirement fight.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a really good card. And hopefully it turns out to be a really exciting night because
Hmm.
I mean, Poirier's been in it and had some real good matches.
Yeah, he has a lot of bonus that come along the way, and he used
Mhm.
to that he liked to fight in the Justin Gaethje match. Both of them were good. Now this is the third time he goes against Max Holloway. He beat Max Holloway twice already, 145 and a 155. Beat him. And somebody that has like pretty good boxing, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier was able to outbox him in the second match, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, Holloway's no joke when it comes to boxing. I wonder if he'll take a step back if Holloway points at the center of the ring.
I don't know, man. Don't do that. Don't you put the curse on me here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Easy, man. That's gonna be. And then you have Teixeira versus Derek Lewis. Man, there's a lot of them coming out because you have Kelly Rountree versus Jamal Hill. Hopefully, Jamal Hill doesn't pull out of this one, this card. Because I think he pulled out of the last one when they're supposed to go against each other. Jamal Hill and Roundtree. That was in June 20th. Is Ankalaev fighting Jiri Prochaska for the title
I'm not sure.
for light heavyweight? Because he hasn't been given a mini rematch against Alex Pereira on light heavyweight. The next one in line is Yuri. Yuri has been talking about going against Ankalaev, but I'm not sure if he's. Now that I was looking at Jamal Hill versus Roundtree, because that was going to be like a title eliminator as well. These two, which I see Jamal Hill going for the grappling part against Khalil Roundtree. Was this better grappler than Khalil Roundtree?
Yeah, I mean that'll be. There's a lot of people I haven't heard of on the fight night. Usman versus Buckley.
Yeah. What Inman Shabasian use what's his name? Ronda Rousey's teammate. He was like 16-year-old. Remember when Ronda Rousey used to do like exhibition matches or like showing like moves for like the UFC for when they were taping? He was one of those teenagers that was there, like a 16-year-old at the time. That she was throwing around for like her matches coming up. And now he's a fighter in the UFC in middleweight. Emin Shabasian. I'm not sure if he's still the same gym, Glendale. I'm not sure he's still in the same gym. That's in Glendale, but I think he's Armenian. Yeah.
Cody brought Garbrandt on this as well.
He looks different. He looks like a villain now.
Yeah,
I see him.
so
Recently, he grew his hair
I don't know. I don't see it.
because he used to have a short haircut.
Yeah,
Check out his
always had the
Instagram.
fade.
Yeah, check out his Instagram.
Okay.
He looked like that guy from Gemstones.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's throwing it out.
Yeah, he's gonna go from a fighter to a biker now.
That's right. It's not working out. You switch.
Yeah, he was like a big prospect for wrestling out of high school, but he decided to do MMA because he's out of Ohio. I see one of his posts. He has a freaking horseshoe, and that sword that he has on his face too is weird. The tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
At one point,
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's not.
he's only 33 years old.
It's funny to think because I really feel like he's just kind of faded out. You know.
But he's getting like knocked out a lot recently. After he lost against Dillashaw, he lost against him twice. Both of them TKO. Then he got KO by Pedro Munoz in 2019. He beat Rafael Sunsao. He like knocked his head out almost of the cage. Then he lost a decision versus Rob Font. He got KO by Kai Kara France 2021. 2023, he won against Trevin Jones decision. He KO Brian Kelleher. He got submitted by Deuce Figueroa. Figueredo, by the way. Because at one point he dropped, I thought he dropped down to 125 back in 2021. Crazy. And then last year he lost against Figueredo. You know, he's going against Pranoy Barcelos this weekend. But man, those knocked out they are not good. But somebody's not even, just 33.
Do you think it was the 2019 fight that kind of changed him? 'Cause I feel like, or was it the TJ Dillashaw? I feel like I remembered like there was a significant fight with him, and I just didn't see him for a while. And then, like when he came back, he just wasn't the same.
Yeah. He was during that time. Because he wasn't like getting finished and finish early. That's the thing. You get like later on the round, it makes sense. But getting finished early in rounds, that's not good for somebody that was known to be elusive, especially that Dominic Cruz match. He was hard to hit. He was just hitting Dominic Cruz like out of range in different angles, and to go from that to getting like flat footed and getting fly line didn't look good. I wonder if he's still with Team Alpha Male. Because he said that he now lives in Vegas. All his fights has been in Vegas since 2019.
Extreme Couture
Okay,
in Vegas.
that makes sense.
Yeah. It says he started Team Alpha Male and then went to Extreme Couture.
Okay, that makes sense. A lot of people train out of there. Ige trains out of there too.
Mhm.
So he's undefeated to win against DJ De La Shaw. And since then, he's been 3-6, and 4 of those have been KO, one submission, no losses.
Strange one. Yeah, just feels like he's kind of faded out.
Yeah, that's the thing with your chin, man. Once it goes, man. Your body protecting you from yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It knows your brain can't take that anymore.
Yeah, because the bounce back is even harder to recover. Then the brain knows it. That's all I have for tonight.
Yeah. No, I think that was good.
Yeah, you covered a lot today for UFC 316 recap, the health scares of Ben Askren. Hopefully things work out for him, man. It was sad for him. He's a big guy for wrestling and MMA, even though the hitting MMA, maybe a troll.
Right.
Different matchups that are coming out for in different weight classes. 35 bantamweight, or Marab, 140, 135 for women as well. I don't know what the UFC was thinking about those putting both 135 in the same car. If somebody
Yeah, I don't know.
fell out, so for example, is it gonna be Marab versus Kayla? It's the same weight class. See who's gonna
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect.
it's gonna be intergender title. So who will be cringing? But the final X coming up this weekend. Don't forget about it. UFC fight card in Atlanta. Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. But thank you for listening. Should like and subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost a thing, but it goes a long way. We are on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. So next time, thank you.